Right. So I see that as good news. Supergirl somehow nearly being cancelled. Let's talk about Arrow nearly finishing up and DC Legends, and maybe CW fans are a wee bit distraught, or DC fans that don't like the CW, they may be happy. I had no problems with those shows, as you know, if you follow my channel. Yeah, I mean, some of them are starting to be really cheesy, comedy and everything else, and it's for the family. The only ironic thing about it all is this is what the public wanted when it came to movies. They wanted the family, cheesy, Christopher Reeve 1970s sort of movies. But here we have the birth of things like Teen Titans, written by Jeff Johns, helmed by him, who then later on got accused of, to blame for how Justice League turned out. But here we have Teen Titans, and maybe with the success of other like Marvel shows like The Punisher or Daredevil, people are angling for that. It just doesn't make any sense, so it can be funny, but it needs to also be a little bit edgy. And to be honest, Arrow, that's had 7 seasons or something like that, or even more, I may be wrong, that's pretty well, especially when you're considering that most shows and series, I mean, I'm a fan of Supernatural, right? That's up to 13, but to me, for a long time now, I believed it should have finished after season 5. Gotham, fantastic show, on the edge, finish at season 5, because you don't want to stretch it out. But getting back to why Supergirl is a great thing, it's because it says something. Now, as I say, I collected Supergirl box sets and stuff like that. But it started to feel really like they're amping up their agendas, their lectures to people, and it's about time the movie industry and the TV industry, face facts that we're not interested in being lectured at. Now, granted, right, and this is going all over, right, racism was bad. Black people in America and everything else, right, that's ever done to them, right, bad. Right? Sexism, bad. Women have always played second fiddle, right? And that's bad. And we're getting films that come out and stipulate those heroes of from women heroes in the past, the black people's history and journeys in the past. I'm not saying it shouldn't all be celebrated and made films of, but when it starts to be in just about everything, even women and probably black men as well are saying, stop it. The best thing to handle, for me, my own truth, is that you don't lecture it. We acknowledge it. We acknowledge that it happened, and and a lot of us, in this generation, we're ashamed of our predecessors and how they treated either women or black people or whatever, right? But for me, for women to rise above, say, men, or for black people to rise above white people, is not to lecture, but just to make good stories and not having 12. Another wee example of this is there was an episode of Black Lightning on, and in this episode in Black Lightning, you've got this white head teacher that's just taken over, and because of the coloured fella that had shot most of the school up, the girlfriend still wants to honour him, and he says no. So she's basically calling this white guy a racist because of the way he's handling things in school. So, but then you find out that this white guy, right, now the Black Lightning, he comes forward and he says something along the lines of, these people, black skin and whatnot, they don't face a promising future like you as white folks and whatnot because of. And then the white headmaster, he says, oh, so now you're being racist because you're judging that because I'm white, that I've had a great upbringing. I was raised by junkies. I was living on the street and everything else. So he really had a bad upbringing, defending for himself. But just because he's white, people think with that. And that's what gets missing when we start preaching all this stuff, right? We start missing that, yeah, okay, feminism and everything else, but then that ends up making men look pathetic. Just like what Supergirl was starting to do to men, and especially Superman. They were starting to make men look bad. It was fine if you were a woman. It was fine if you were lesbian and everything else, which it is, right? Which it is. But it's like every episode was less edgy because, hey, women are cool, men are bad. Superman's not much of a hero compared to Supergirl. Demeaning, right? Demeaning the sex. That's not how you combat that, and many women will probably agree with me. But who am I to say? I don't put words in your mouth, but I've heard a lot of women say things along that line. My partner, for instance, she was getting fed up with it. You also, and then when it comes to race, to the colour of your skin, for instance, or religion, right? We cannot move on as a society if we're made to feel sympathy for those of a different colour or different religion, because it's in our faces 24/7 and it's making, say, the white man look bad, right? And that is not how you combat that, because there's good and bad on both sides. So by getting Supergirl cancelled, and it's not just Supergirl, it is like Doctor Who that became a woman, and the stories that affected it, Ghostbusters, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson comes out and says we don't want for the white men, again being sexist. We can all celebrate women, we can all celebrate the darkness of skin, we just don't need it lectured. So by these CW shows and everything else, and Supergirl maybe being cancelled, that is your voice being listened to. And all you got to do now, and this is what's so important about going to the cinema and buying a cinema ticket and voicing your opinions and everything else, is, clearly state what you like. Clearly state what you like by either not watching it, not buying things. Go to the cinema often enough, but just don't go to the ones you don't like. And that's the easiest way to send a message, to these people. And by Supergirl being cancelled, maybe then these people behind the scenes may think, we started off good, but then we thought we were better. And the reason why Arrow may be slipping, and probably Flash soon as well, is that they're taking something like, instead of Batman, you have Batwoman and stuff, and it's not treating the characters that deserve the respect, the right sort of screen time. You shouldn't have Arrow saying, I'm the first vigilante. No, that disturbs the fans, because they want you to acknowledge that Batman was there before the lot of you. Batman and Superman was original heroes. It seems pathetic, I know, But to fans and people that read comics and everything else, or people that love Batman or Superman or whatever, they just want their characters treated nice. But by throwing all your agenda and everything else, people are going to switch off. So listen up, TV studios, listen up, movies and everything else. The public are speaking to you. The public have spoken, right? The black person has spoken up against this stuff. The white people, the feminists, everybody's we've all had enough. Okay, the best thing to do is just make great storylines, and you don't need to get heavy on I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, and I'll tell you another thing. No, I'll save that for my Jared Leto Joker thing. It's very inspirational. Okay, well that's my truth. This is DC Vigilante out. Thank you.